What is going on, guys and girls? Welcome back to Crusader Kings 2, a Game of Thrones mod. Now, I have not touched this mod in over, I don't know how many months, but there's a very good reason why I have decided to play it again today, and that is because later today, HBO will release the first episode of the final season of Game of Thrones, and even though I do not quite enjoy the series as much as I used to in the beginning, I still want to know what happens. I still am obviously somewhat excited for, well, how all of this is going to be panning out. And so I'll be watching, and I assume a lot of you people will be as well. And just to get myself into the mood, just to get myself hyped up, I've decided to check out the mod again. There's tons of new stuff. I've skipped several updates, and so there's many things for me to figure out. There's obviously the Holy Fury update that's in there, that's adding so many new things, and several other things that I will be able to figure out. And I just want to mention here right of the start that this is not going to be a longer series, right? This is not going to be a full campaign, specifically because I'm currently playing on an old CK2 version, like the 3.0.1 version, and there is a newer version for CK2, and the developers of the mod are currently working on a compatibility patch as well. So once that is out, I will be starting a new series, likely as Bravos. I've already talked about it with some of my Patreons, but I don't want to get into specifics today because here I just want to get back into the world of Game of Thrones, and I'll be doing this as the Khaleesi herself, Daenerys Stormborn, the Breaker of Chains, the Mother of Dragons, although I'm actually not quite sure if she is the Breaker of Chains just yet. I don't think she is, because we'll be starting in the Clash of Kings scenario. And just to get ourselves back into what this is all about, I'll be reading out this text here. You can obviously skip it if you want to, but let's just experience it. So, here we are. Westeros is at war. After the untimely death of Robert Baratheon, Joffrey, his untested firstborn son, sits the Iron Throne. Eddard Stark, Lord of the North and Hand of the King, has sent word to Stannis the Manus that Joffrey is not Robert's son, but the result of the incestuous relationship between Queen Cersei and her brother Sir Jaime Lannister the Kinslayer. Joffrey, outraged at Lord Eddard's accusations, has had him executed. Now Eddard's son, Robb the Young Wolf, supported by the Tullys of the Riverlands, has raised his banners and is marching on King's Landing. Meanwhile, Lord Balon Greyjoy, ever the opportunist, has laid claim to the Sea Stone Chair and hopes to reave like the Ironborn of old. Finally, across the narrow sea, Daenerys Targaryen, mourning the death of her husband and unborn child, begins her quest to return to Westeros. So in this scenario, relive the central conflict of the Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin, but remember that winter is coming. There we go, and without further ado, I think we're going to be hopping in as Khaleesi Daenerys Stormborn. Well, actually, there is some further ado. There are the game rules. Let me quickly load the ones that I always use. I have a couple of slots. I'm not sure, I think this is exactly the same rules. So we're going to go with them. They likely won't matter because, as I said, this is going to be a shorter campaign. We're just going to be playing as Daenerys, unless, of course, she dies on the very first day. Then, well, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be doing. Likely, you won't notice because I will just reload, so anyway. But while we're loading the game, you might not see it, but I already saw the event that we'll start out with. Welcome, yes, thank you. We're going to be reading this out. We're currently in the desert, it appears like. Okay, the Great Grass Sea, Tolokarth. Okay, very nice, very nice. Now, there's going to be a lot of reading, but I love that. It just sets the mood, it sets the vibe. You can always skip that if you want to, but I think this is an integral part of this Let's Play. So, anyway, Mother of Dragons. Salvation! The prophetic red comet has led you to Qarth. As you pass through the 3 immense and elegantly painted walls that serve as one of the 9 wonders of man, you can't help but gaze at the bones of those who have been denied entry. Sheltered by Xaro Zawan Daxos, you quickly discover the politics of Qarth to be a danger all its own. But danger does not stop the dragon. By burning the Lazarene Witch, you have laid claim to your birthright of fire and blood. The usurper is dead. Westeros is shattered, and you long for home. Use this time to nurse your dragons, and soon you will return to cast down the usurpers' dogs, and unite the 7 kingdoms once more. Because we are the rightful queen of the 7 kingdoms, the rightful queen of Westeros. Very good. So we immediately gain 500 prestige. Very nice. And, oh, this is so cool, we actually get to use our treasury. I'm not sure if I have ever played a game where we had the treasury here. So, actually, maybe I have. I don't know. Either way, we're going to get Daenerys' crown added, as well as the ancient city of Karth, the Pureborn, are becoming our overlord. Okay, let's quickly move to... by the way, I love this map mode, but it doesn't actually show you much about what's going on. So we'll be moving to this one instead. Awesome. So let's quickly check out our character. This is something I always do. We obviously know about Khaleesi Daenerys, but still, it's important to check her out. We're obviously quick and attractive. We're widowed because our son Drogo has died. We basically, I mean, he died and then we killed him again, in a way, so there's that. We're trusting, we trusted that Lazarine witch as well, the Maggie. We're temperate and just. I guess we're not quite crazy just yet, but I have a feeling we might become crazy as time goes on. Now, our son is dead as well, Rhaego. He died stillborn. Our brother, Rhaegar, well, yeah, he was killed by the usurper, but we also have our other brother, Viserys. He was executed by Khal Drogo. And then, of course, our father's dead. Our mother died when we were born. So, yeah, all that we have left is our 3 dragons, Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion. Very, very cool. Okay, so... let's quickly check out our treasury here. We have Daenerys' crown, a crown wrought in the shape of a 3-headed dragon. The coils are yellow gold, the wings silver, and the heads carved from jade, ivory, and onyx. And then we have a weirwood spear. How do we have that? I'm actually unsure what this is all about. Management menu is opened. Okay. Okay, we can manage it. We can either manage it, or we can cancel it. Okay, I'm going to cancel. Interesting. Not quite sure what that is all about. Maybe someone can tell me in the comment section. But yeah, alright, so now, obviously, we'll be checking out our court. Let's actually do that in a better way. Let's find some characters. Let's search our court, and let's see who we have. Now, we've got Uggo. I'm not quite sure. Is he our Blood Rider? We have some Blood Riders. We obviously have Jorah Mormont, also known as Sir Friendzone, which is quite funny, actually. Aggressive man. He's one of our main advisors. We do not have... we don't have Barristan with us just yet. That's unfortunate. Now, I think I'm going to be keeping an eye on our dragons as well, just because. There we go. Look at this. Jorah is the most important character in my life right now. He was the first I marked as an interesting character, so, you know, there you go. He should be happy about that. He's actually a chief general as well. Good. Now, then I believe Irri and Jikwi, these are our handmaidens. Pretty sure. And then Uggo, Jogo, and Rakaro. Wasn't it Rakaro? Yes, Rakaro. Those are our Blood Riders. I'm pretty certain about that. Jogo has got the whip. I'm pretty sure someone had the bow, the other had the arak. I'm not quite sure which one was which, but yeah, they're important. And then I think the others, I don't know. I think they're random courtiers that we don't need to care about specifically. Okay, very good. Now, we'll be obviously having a quick look at the 7 kingdoms as well. Currently, we've got Joffrey Baratheon sitting the Iron Throne, married to Marjorie, who's also regent, interestingly. We'll keep an eye on him. There's Cersei Lannister as well. Now, I will not obviously be marking everyone as important characters, just the ones that are in power, because otherwise it's going to be way too much. But yeah, we've got Stannis Baratheon. Oh my god. I love him. I just love Stannis Baratheon. If I wasn't Daenerys Targaryen, I would be saying that this is the rightful king of Westeros. But yeah, anyway, we've got Mace the Ace, Tyrell. We've got Doran Martell of Dorne. We've got the mighty Tywin Lannister, son of Titus, the Toothless Lion. We've got Balon Greyjoy, who's hopefully going to die. We've got Sweet Robin. Oh, no, my mouse is disconnecting. Why does it disconnect when I hover over Robert Arryn of the Vale? Good question. Good question. But then, of course, we have the young wolf, Robb Stark, married to Rosalind. Wait, Rosalind Frey? He actually married her? Interesting. That is interesting indeed. So maybe there's no red wedding? Huh. And then, of course, we've got the King Beyond the Wall, Mance Rayder, who's threatening our kingdom. And we can't let that happen. Jon Snow is not yet Lord Commander. Instead, we have Jorah Mormont, who is somewhat important to us because, obviously, we have Jorah, his son, at our council, in our council. But yeah, let's pick a focus. I think... Oh, we're 15. We're actually still being educated. We're currently educating ourselves, interestingly. I think the dragon has been woken. We'll be going with this. Marshall. Yeah. And then, I don't know if we actually have enough people to set this up properly. You know what? I'm actually not going to do that. Let us go forward for now, because we'll have a lot of events that will be interesting to us. Okay, so our Septon has been appointed. Interesting. And the White Walker of Winter has declared war on Mance Rayder. Interesting. We'll see how that goes. They've got 12,000 men. Mance Rayder does not have enough men. He's currently attacking the wall. We'll see how that goes. We'll keep an eye on this. But for now, let's read this out. The Valyrian freehold's politics was dominated by 40 families of great wealth, high birth, and strong sorcerous ability, known as Dragon Lords. They spoke the High Valyrian language and had great skill in shaping stone. Incest and polygamy was a common practice among the blood of Old Valyria, and we are the blood of Old Valyria. Okay, now, there's some titles being created. Balon Greyjoy has declared the invasion on Robb Stark, and there we go, we get our bloodline. The bloodline of House Targaryen lays claim to traditional ancestral lands that must be reclaimed. Fire and blood. Okay, so we got a new claim now on Dragonstone, and the White Walkers are already killing people. Okay, I'm not quite sure if I need to know about that, but we have Drogon's whip. Any person who wins control of this dragon wins control of their whip. It serves as a record of past controllers of the dragon. Interesting. I wonder if this is for every dragon. But we should equip this. Not equipped. How can I equip it? Can't equip. Artifact is inactive. Do we need to be... Feudal Royal Monarch pressing claim on a kingdom. I see. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, there's some titles being created. That's fine. That's all good. Don't need to worry about that. But good on you for creating these titles. Okay, we're making a little bit of cash. I am unsure. I think we're waiting on events to fire. Pretty sure. There goes the Faith Militant that's being restored. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. But there we are. Okay, the House of the Undying. In this city of splendors, you find the House of the Undying to be the least splendid of all. You behold a grey and ancient ruin without towers or windows, its crumbling form coiled like a serpent through a grove of black-barked trees bearing inky blue leaves. Your companions echo your hesitation, urging you not to enter, but ahead lies the path to your destiny. Queen Daenerys must enter alone, says Pyat Pri, stepping out from the shadow of the trees. Take my arm and let me lead you. I am no child. A child no more indeed. We have awoken. There's the shade of the evening. You make your way through the darkened grove and are presented with a crystal glass filled with thick blue liquid. Shade of the evening, the wine of warlocks. You gulp down the potion, and as the warlock speaks, you are reminded of every taste you have ever known, and none of them. Within, you will see many things that disturb you, visions of loveliness and visions of horror, wonders and terrors, sights and sounds of days gone by and days to come, and days that never were and never will be. If you value your soul, take care and do just as I tell you. Take the door to your right, each time the door to your right. If you should come upon a stairwell, climb, never go down, never take any door but the first to your right. The door to my right. Okay, I wonder if I actually can mess this up, but I don't think so. Alright. You find yourself in a stone anteroom with 4 doors, one on each wall. A mold-eaten carpet, once colored with whorls of gold, lies at your feet. Within the walls, you hear a faint scurrying and scrabbling of rats. You heed the warlock's advice and choose the rightmost door 3 times, each leading you to a room identical as the one before. It's clear you're in the presence of sorcery. I choose the door on the right, of course. And no, Val was killed. Okay, this doesn't actually matter to us, but still, it's unfortunate that happened. But that is distracting right now. Oh, and these dragons have their own whip? Oh, that's cool. Alright, that's just kind of interesting to note. Okay, so does Drogon have his own whip? Or do we... Yeah, we have his whip. I see. Cool. Alright, anyways. Here we are in the Red Room. You emerge into a long, dim, high-ceilinged hall. Along the right hand is a row of torches burning with a smoky orange light. But the only doors are to your left, and not all of them are closed. You will tell yourself not to look, but the temptation is too strong. Okay, along the right hand is a row of torches, but the only doors are to your left. Okay. In one room, you come upon a feast of corpses. Savagely slaughtered, the feasters lay strewn across overturned chairs and hacked trestle tables, a sprawl in pools of congealing blood. In the throne above them sits a dead man with the head of a wolf and an iron crown. His eyes follow you with mute appeal as you continue on. Only a stairwell down marks the end of the passage, and still, the only doors are to your left. The first door on the right is the last door on the left. I agree, honestly. Okay, we get the prophesized future, +1 intrigue. Very good. Let's move on. You find yourself in yet another stone anteroom with 4 doors, one on each of the twisty stone walls. The floor seems to move slowly under your feet, as if it were trying to trip you. You are gripped by a sudden sense of desperation, want nothing more than to be done with this house of horrors, but still, 3 doors lie before you. Okay, now I can choose this or blue, no, yell. What the hell? I guess we'll go with the right door. Mother. You emerge once more into a long, dim, high-ceilinged hall. A row of torches. Okay. One room reveals 10,000 slaves lifting blood-stained hands before you as you race by on your silver, riding like the wind. Mother, they cry. Mother, mother. They reach for you, touching you, tugging at your cloak, the hem of your skirt. They want you. They need you. The fire, the life. You gasp and open your arms to give yourself to them, but at the last moment you realize your mistake and pass on from the vision further down the hall. Only a stairwell down marks the passage. Alright, we'll continue on. And, yeah, your sense of foreboding grows as the scurrying sounds within the walls seem to get louder, and behind you notice the torches have begun to flutter out. One more gathers out, and the darkness creeps a little further down the hall towards you. As you listen, you seem to hear something else coming, shuffling itself slowly along the faded carpet. Terror fills you. You must quickly decide which door. Of course, we'll choose the one on the right. The red sword. The scene behind the open door reveals a corpse standing at the prow of a ship, eyes bright in his dead face, grey lips smiling sadly. Glowing like a sunset, a red sword is raised in the hand of a blue-eyed king who casts no shadow. A blue flower grows from a chink in a wall of ice and fills the air with sweetness. Mother of dragons, bride of fire. Confused, you turn toward the stairwell at the end of the passage. I wish to be done with this place. Okay. And there we go. You enter a stairwell beginning to climb. Before long, your legs are aching. Strangely, you recall that the House of the Undying Ones seemed to have no towers. To your right, a set of wooden doors are thrown open, fashioned of weirwood and ebony. The black and white patterns swirl and intertwine into strange designs. Very beautiful, yet somehow frightening. The dragon must not be afraid. Oh my goodness, Mace. The Blue Heart. You pass through a narrow door in the chamber awash with gloom. A long stone table fills the room. Above it floats a human heart, swollen and blue with corruption, yet still alive. Every beat is a deep, ponderous throb of sound, each pulse sending out a wash of indigo light. The figures around the table are no more than blue shadows. As you walk to the empty chair in front of them, they do not stare, speak, nor turn to face you. Mother of Dragons comes a voice, part whisper and part moan. You find it difficult to summon the will to speak. You notice suddenly that none of them are breathing. Could it be that the Undying ones are dead? We live, whispered the answer, thin as a mouse's whisker. And now, I have come for the gift of truth. Prophecy. 3 heads has the dragon, the ghost chorus jammers inside your skull. Mother of Dragons, child of storm. The whispers become a swirling song. 3 fires must you light. 1 for life, 1 for death, and 1 to love. Your own heart beats in unison to the one that floats before you. 3 mounts must you ride. 1 to bed, 1 to dread, and 1 to love. The voices grow louder and your heart seems to slow, even your breath. 3 treasons will you know. 1's for blood, and 1's for gold, and 1's for love. Interesting. That's obviously the prophecy. Help me, show me. I gotta remember this. 3 fires, life, death, love. I think some of them we already have done. We'll see. But we get blurred visions. Shadows swirl and dance inside a tent, boneless and terrible. A little girl runs barefoot towards a house with a red door. Miri Mazdur shrieks in the flames, a dragon bursting from her brow. Behind a silver horse, the corpse of a naked man bounces and drags. A tall lord with copper skin and silver hair stands beneath the banner of a fiery stallion. A burning city behind him. Suddenly, black wings buffet around your head, and suddenly the visions are gone, ripped away. Your gasp turns to horror as you spy the Undying all around you, blue and cold, whispering as they reach for you. All the strength leaves your limbs, and you cannot move. You feel a hand on your breast. Teeth find the soft skin of your throat. A mouth descends on one eye, sucking, biting. Dracarys! Death of the Undying. There we go. Drogon is saving us. Indigo turns to orange, and whispers turn to screams. Perched above you, Drogon spreads his wings and tears at the terrible dark heart, ripping the rotten flesh to ribbons. His head snaps forward, the fire flying from his open jaws, bright and hot. You can hear the shrieks of the Undying as they burn, their high, thin, papery voices crying out in tongues long dead. The whole room is ablaze by the time you reach the door and call to your dragon. When you spill out into the sun, the bright light makes you stumble. Looking behind you, you see the tendrils of smoke forcing their way through cracks in the ancient stone walls of the Palace of Dust. Howling curses, Pyat Pri draws a knife and dances towards you, when suddenly you hear the crack of Yogo's whip. Never was a sound so sweet. Oh yes, indeed. Indeed. And thanks about these notifications. Okay, very, very cool. So that was the prophecy. I know we didn't get far, but I'm definitely in the mood to continue playing as Daenerys. We're going to be reconquering the 7 kingdoms, and I'm just pumped. I'm just pumped. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.